I just burned my tongue.
Was it too hot?
Yeah, it was too hot.
I just dribbled.
That's karma.
Cool. Should we start?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey guys, Dan here with Eve. We're going to chat about veganism, travel, aliens. Nah, we'll leave the aliens out. Cool. Why are you here in Barcelona?
It was a very spontaneous decision. I just happened to have like a few friends here at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Am I one of them?
yes. And yeah, I mean, it was fairly close. I was in Slovenia, which is only like 30 hours away by bus. So yeah, I came here.
On the bus?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that. 30 hours.
Yeah, total.
Oh wow, that's a long one. And the pictures that I've seen from you in Slovenia are incredible. Like, tell me about it. I mean, you've been sending pictures of, I've just been receiving pictures of these beautiful lakes and it's, yeah.
Well, Slovenia is one of my favorite countries. It is just full of mountains, and mountains is like my favorite thing in the whole world. Mountains and then these beautiful lakes that are just like blue, turquoise, greenish, and rivers that are, they're almost like neon blue. It's like glowing because they're so bright blue.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just, there's this magical atmosphere that...
Because it's not somewhere that like you hear about all the time. You know, you hear about Barcelona, you hear about Paris, you hear about some of these places. Slovenia is kind of like, it's not the most popular one to talk about, but the pictures and the experience that you had there, for example, that's amazing, right?
Yeah, I actually don't understand why it is so, untalked about.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it should be, because I've been to, 40 countries in Europe?
Yeah.
And Slovenia is my number one in Europe.
Yeah, wow.
So to me, I don't know why, it's definitely one of the most underrated. The most underrated.
It's definitely on the top of my list now after seeing all of this.
I'm like sending everyone over there. Yeah.
Good. That's good. Good. So, what have you been doing? You just said you've been to like 40 countries. What have you been doing the last few years? What do you do?
What I do? I travel.
You travel?
I started traveling 5 years ago.
Wow.
But the first 3 years I had I was going to say a real job, but I had a Monday to Friday job at one place. So a normal job at Monday to Friday, 10 to 6.
And so the time off, that was when you traveled?
Yeah. Okay. So I would go on weekends and holidays, and I was very fortunate that I didn't have to put my vacation days a year in advance, choose what weeks, but I could choose them as I went. So during a holiday like Easter, I would put a few days before and after, and then I could take a whole week off, but only take 1 or 2 days off.
That's not bad. That's good. That's smart. That's kind of probably many people that could work something out if you get the opportunity, but that's comes from the brain, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then it was just every time I was not away on a trip, when I was back working, I was just longing for the next trip. So after 3 years, I just said I don't care what I need to do. I'll work in hostels. I will clean toilets as long as I can travel. I don't really care how. So I'll make it work.
Do you think that the first few travels that you went on, you became kind of hooked into it, and that's led you into the point of I gotta just do this full time?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Definitely. And the first trip I did alone, because I've been traveling these 5 years alone, almost exclusively. But it was actually by accident that I went alone on my first trip, because I got a weekend trip to Girona here in super close to here for the boyfriend I had at the time. Okay. And then we broke up before the trip. And I was like, well, I'll just go alone then, because I couldn't get the money back, and it was a place I wanted to go to. So I went alone, and the first day was pretty horrible. I was 21, getting ready to go out to eat at a restaurant alone for the first time in your life is pretty scary.
How old were you at that point?
21.
21, okay.
And yeah, that was awful. I just went to the darkest restaurant I could find, sat in the corner, ate my food, and just went back home.
Okay.
And but then the next day, I woke up and I was like, I can do whatever I want today. And it was just this freedom of like, I can do anything whenever I feel like it. I don't have to compromise anything for anyone.
Yeah.
And I just had the best day ever. The weather was perfect, and it was in September, end of September, so it was off season, so there weren't too many tourists either. Yeah, I just loved it. And then in the evening, I started chatting to this girl who was a local, and because she came up to me and asked if she could join me because she wants to practice her English.
Okay.
And I ended up with her and her friend sitting chatting all night, and I was like, this would not happen if I had been with someone, because then you're not like open to those kind of opportunities. So the first thing I did when I got back home was to book another trip alone, and that was to Scotland. And it just like kept going on like that. Yeah. And
so have you ever had some like really tough times being on your own as a female traveler then, or have you always found it just, you know, it's fine? Because a lot of people you hear about, I mean, especially myself, and I can't relate in that respect to being a female traveller, but I've been a lone traveller. A lot of people say, oh, it's okay because you're a guy.
Yep.
I couldn't do it because I'm a girl. So obviously you've done it.
Yep.
But are there times when it's like, you know, you've got to be super careful, or you shouldn't do this, or there's certain things you should think about?
I mean, I have been in certain parts of the world where I didn't go out alone by choice, but then I would stay in hostels and I would meet other people and I would just go out with them. But also, I've never been big on like nightlife, going out partying. So I don't tend to go out at night, and usually when things happen, it's when there's alcohol involved or like at night. But usually I would just like prefer to get up super early so I could see all the places without people, and then go to bed early so that I could wake up.
And go and do something and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't have any bad experiences until like just recently. So 4.5 years of solo traveling until something bad happened.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bad statistic.
Yeah.
Just travel for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
And then have a break. You skip the bad part and then go again. Cool. Yeah. Oh, wow. So you mentioned that you don't, you know, necessarily go out and focus on partying and all that.
Yeah.
But beer.
Oh, I love beer. Oh, you've noticed that, I think.
Anyone that follows you will notice that you like a good beer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then I see on your stories, it's like, got my beer today, and the argument that's got your vitamin B, right?
Vitamin B. Yeah.
Vitamin B. Fantastic. Okay. So you're vegan as well, right? When did that come along?
About 3.5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, long time.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been longer and shorter. But yeah.
What made you go vegan?
Cute pig videos on Facebook.
Cute pig videos on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's normally the opposite. It's normally the, you know, the bad things that happen to pigs that you make.
No, I can't
cute.
watch that.
No.
I actually haven't watched documentaries or videos that show that, or sometimes people send it to me because they're like, oh, this is so awful, but I can't watch it because I get too emotional.
Okay, so the cute pigs, they turned you to vegan. You realised that you didn't want to be eating them. But what about all the other animals and the dairy and other things that?
So it started with just not wanting to eat pig, but I think it took maybe only like a week or so when I was eating at someone's place, and it was like spaghetti bolognese, and I just felt weird about eating because it was cow's meat, and I just felt really weird about it when I ate it, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know.
I felt that connection maybe between the animals, and it is an animal still.
Yeah, like definitely, like my compassion and empathy has grown a lot since I became vegan.
Yeah.
So actually I think I went from like kind of eating like normal to becoming vegan very fast. Also because the boyfriend I had at the time was lactose intolerant.
Okay.
So there wasn't much dairy at home anyways.
Like,
and in Sweden we have a lot of good like...
Them green birds are technically. No, you can't see them now. Incredibly beautiful. Carry on, sorry. It's the vegan mindset, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and in Sweden we have like so many good options that are vegan that you can have instead of dairy.
Sweden,
Instead of dairy products like Oatly. Also, like they have like probably one of my favorite like milks for coffee, but they also have like versions for like cream cheese or how do you call it, creme fraiche.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So I could, because I love baking. So I've been able to do so much baking and cooking where like cheesecakes that are just like mind-blowingly good. And
so you don't feel like you felt that since you've been vegan you've really lost out on anything?
No, I've never had as much good food as I do now.
Yeah, and that's legit. You've never.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I think sometimes people hear this and they're like, "Oh, vegans are gonna say that because of the, because they want everyone else to go vegan." And you say, "Oh, the food's better," but arguably, people don't go vegan because they think the food's not as good. Yeah. That's a big part of it as well.
But I think because before, when you just eat the way you've always done, you don't think about food as much. But after becoming vegan, you had to start focusing more on it because you have to learn on like what you can eat, what you cannot eat.
Absolutely.
And it just I started focusing on food and trying new things and discovering how good food can be.
Yeah.
Because before it would be like I would usually eat the same kind of meals. You would have a few recipes and you'd just switch up. But now it's just like now I just like trying new things all the time.
That's nice. And I guess traveling gives you that opportunity to try different vegan foods and play around with things. And some countries might be better than others for it, so you've really got to put your mind onto it. And that's a part of growing and learning as well. So, which country would you say has been one of the most interesting ones for when you've been eating vegan?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But I would say like one that really surprised me. Was Poland. Poland is actually one of the most vegan countries in the world. Really? Wow. Which I would not expect.
Yeah. That's crazy. So Poland, Go to Poland, guys.
Yeah, and it's cheap too.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a few cities. Like it's like all cities in Poland basically have like a bunch of vegan restaurants and
Okay.
Good, so that's definitely
check that one out as well.
Yeah.
So, sustainability, your journey towards being as eco-friendly as possible. Where did it come into your head that like when you started, you're traveling, you're doing this, you became vegan? Was it before veganism or after it that you started to realize, there's...
I think from being Swedish, we already have this mindset of like recycling is just normal to us. Yeah. We just do it. So I guess I already had like a certain level, but then when I did become vegan, even though I became it for the animals, this whole new world opened up, and I would join Facebook groups and stuff, and that's where I would learn the environmental impact of animal agriculture, and that a lot of people go vegan because of the environment. And that's when I started learning more, and the more I learned, you can't unlearn what you've learned. So it's like you're going down a rabbit hole and you want to know more. I guess it was just the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, and I would start trying to be more eco-friendly, and I would justify my traveling for a long time by being vegan and by being like eco-friendly in my life, but I would still fly airplanes.
Sure. Yes, I was going to actually come on to that next time. So what if you decided to kind of do your best to do?
Well, in January this year, I saw this article and I saw actual number. I mean, I always knew it was bad to fly, but I didn't know how bad. But when I saw numbers, how bad it was, I was like, being vegan and recycling and trying to avoid plastic and all these things, that's all erased. Like, that is just a tiny portion compared to the impact my flying has. I realized I was one of the worst, like, climate criminals. And I'm like, I cannot justify this. I'm not gonna fly anymore. Just like that. And then I just made that decision, and then kind of afterwards, like, okay, so how am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
Because I'm very...
You're a full-time traveler now, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big thing to, stop, flying.
Yeah.
In fact, it's only been recently that I've started to, like, you've always, like you say, you know about it, but becoming fully aware of it and being like, oh wow, like that. So how are you going to, or how have you been, when was it? In January, you said? So what has it been like since January not flying? You haven't flown since January? You've flown a few times?
No, I did have 2 trips already booked when I made this decision, that I wouldn't have gone on them if it wasn't for the fact that other people were involved and had taken time off work and paid and stuff. If it had just been me, I just wouldn't have gone, but because of that I did go. So February was the last time I went with the airplane, and it was really such a bad feeling, like getting on the airplane after knowing and after making this decision, going on those airplanes. That was hard, that was tough. So I was really happy when I came back to Sweden and had done the last flight. I'm like, phew, I'm not gonna need to do that again. Like, I don't have to. But honestly, not flying has made me love traveling even more.
That's great.
Enjoy my travels so much more.
Would you say that's because you're not causing so much damage towards the environment and you're seeing more at the same time?
Well, partially because I don't have that thing that I'm pushing away about the sustainability aspect, but also just because now I'm so much more focused on where I am. I'm so much more present in where I am in the moment, rather than before I would have, because there are so many places in the world that I want to go, and I would always in my mind have, I want to go there, and I want to go there, and I want to go there. So my mind would always, go everywhere, but now I have to take it slower, step by step. So
you kind of, before maybe you would actually like skip somewhere. You'd skip some of the smaller towns because you fly directly to the main bit and then you go to where you want to.
Exactly.
And now maybe you have to go down the back streets and,
Yeah, and now because of it, I went to smaller towns that as you say, I wouldn't have gone to them. I would have skipped them. But I've gone to them and gained these experiences that I wouldn't have.
That's wonderful.
Just being able to be more spontaneous and just taking it slower, which
That's
I really
great.
enjoy.
I think we all need to do that in many, many different aspects of our life, take things slower. Where would be, or let's say, would be one of your most fun, crazy, spontaneous experiences that you've ever had since you've been traveling?
That's a difficult one. I know I've done a lot of it, but when I was in Iran and I went on a road trip with some friends and their friends and their friends, and some of them, a couple of them were planning to do a road trip in Georgia. Like at the end of my trip to Iran, and I've always dreamt about going to Georgia because I've seen the pictures of the landscapes, green and mountains, which is exactly what I love. So so I went to Georgia after that to travel with a couple of friends that I met in Iran during that road trip.
Oh wow, that's nice. So it kind of like you heard so much about it and you had the opportunity to go there and just wow, let's go. That's great. And that's kind of like what you're doing now, right? You're here and you're like, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be here. And now you need to go to London, and you're not sure how long you're gonna be there. And then you're going somewhere else maybe after that. What are you going to be doing in London? You're doing something there, right?
Yes, I'm going to be on the panel on an event about sustainable travel.
Amazing. Which one is that? What's the...
So it's organized by, it's called Global Travels.
Okay.
And it started out as just an Instagram page where they would share other traveling girls to lift, female solo travelers. Wow. And it has grown to this big community, and now they are starting to have events with different topics, and the first one they're going to do is about sustainable travel.
That's really nice. I think that's a big one, like sustainable travel, sustainable tourism and things like this. It's, relates with everything, this topic that say is kind of trending at the moment, and I think, in a good way, because it's making so many companies think twice about how they're doing things and choosing better options. Cool. And when will that be?
That's on the 27th.
27th of
September.
September.
Of September. Yeah.
Cool. Any other things coming up that you're doing? Got any other plans you want to share or secrets? I know you not necessarily got many plans, but
no, I actually do. Like the next month is actually pretty busy. So after the event in London, I have to hurry back to Sweden because I'm going to be on Swedish television.
Okay.
As like an expert guest on sustainable travel.
Expert guest on sustainable travel? Cool.
So it's going to be my first TV
that's
performance.
Awesome. All right, I have to stay tuned for that.
Yeah. A lot of podcast interviews. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going back to London to be a speaker. And then I'm not going to be on the panel. I'm actually going to just be my own speaker. At an event in London.
So is that something that we might see you doing in the future, is going to places and being like, doing your own speaking events and maybe going around and inspiring the world, inspiring
I hope so, because I really love to do it.
Yeah.
Because I love to talk about what I'm passionate about.
Yeah. We can see that, It's really nice. When I first met you, when did we meet? Like a few weeks ago on...
Yeah.
It's just the same. It seems to be, if anyone's following these videos, you'll see that the great thing about internet is that you get this opportunity to meet so many lovely and amazing people. We met a few weeks ago on Instagram, and you happen to be here, and we meet and go on an adventure, and it's great. So it's spontaneous and great. But if you do get a chance, go over and check out, what's your Instagram?
Earth Wanderess.
And that's your name, right? Earth. No. You might want to just explain that.
Yeah, well, a lot of automatic emails and stuff is sent to Instagrammers, and they just use like the first part of your username.
Yeah.
And because it's Earth Wanderess, I get emails with "Hi Earth."
That's kind of cool name, though, eh?
That would be a pretty cool name, yeah. But my name is Evelina, or Eve, as I'm called. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So if you go to Earth Wanderess, there's some most beautiful travel photos and videos and stories, and you pretty much go around all over the place showing people the most lovely places ever, and it's really nice to see. Really inspiring.
Nature is what I love, so that's where I go. That's where I.
Yeah. And we were in Barcelona, a big, fairly big city with lots of, buildings and cars, and we had to come here to make it a little bit nature. Favorite animal?
I'm gonna have to say dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
I mean,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think dogs are beautiful. They're amazing.
Dogs are
creatures,
amazing. Yeah, they are.
Favorite country?
Can I give a top 3?
Okay.
Okay, so it's Slovenia, Iran, and New Zealand.
Wow. Why New Zealand? We know the other two. Why New Zealand?
Why?
Yeah.
The nature.
The nature as well. That's amazing.
The nature, but also the people. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was very, just the atmosphere. People seem to be pretty calm. They care about the nature, and I just felt at home there.
Yeah.
And also because Lord of the Rings was
And Lord of the Rings, yeah. And you've got a Lord of the Rings tattoo, right?
Yeah.
That's
I've
awesome.
got the Gandalf and the gang.
That's awesome. One country that you'd really like to visit that you haven't seen yet, but you really love to see it?
So that would be Chile, because one of my biggest dreams has always been to go to Patagonia.
Okay, nice.
To the mountains.
Yeah, of course, mountain over here. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's amazing. Thanks so much for the chat and coming here and being here and being on the channel.
For having me.
No worries. How can people find you?
So Instagram is probably my main platform.
Yeah. But then,
I also have a website. It's under construction now, but it's under construction. But you can still find all the posts and stuff. And I have written a lot about, traveling without flying.
Okay.
Why? Because a lot of people think it's just about, the eco aspect from going point A to B, but it's not just about that. And I explain more about the other things around that.
Fantastic. And where this is Earth Wanderess?
Earthwanderess.com.
Okay. And Earth Wanderess on Instagram, YouTube and everything.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Ciao. Nice.
Cool.
Cool, huh?